there, and welcome to the Flourish podcast. My name is Stephanie, and I'm so glad that you are here. So, can I be real with you? Quarter four can feel like chaos. The holidays are around the corner, family schedules are packed, and if you're a business owner, I'm sure you've got goals that you want to finish, and you really have some things you want to finish before the end of the year. But my friends, peace doesn't come from having an empty to-do list. Peace comes from creating rhythms and systems that carry you with grace. In 1 Corinthians 14:40 it says, "But everything should be done in a fitting and orderly way." I actually hadn't really paid attention to this verse, and I was kind of researching and thinking about what I wanted to share with you today. I think it's a good time. I know we talked a little bit last week about just evaluating where we are in our season. And now as we are moving into quarter four, we're deep in the last 3 months of the year. I think it's a really good time. It's a time where we start kind of looking ahead at looking at what is going to be done for the rest of the year. And then we even start wanting to plan for the next year. And I know last week we talked about finding one thing to focus on and one thing to release and then one thing to look toward the next year. But we still like an overview. And I think that even though I think it's good to have one focus, sometimes we do need to still organize some of those thoughts, those things that are going on. And so I thought this week we would kind of talk a little bit more about quarter four and talk about the systems and routines we need to even help you get that one thing done that we talked about, or how you can move and navigate through all the different things that are on your list, on the things that you need to do, so that you have a rhythm, so you have a system, so that you can feel like you're getting more done. You can feel less pressure and have more peace. So 1 Corinthians 14:40 says, "But everything should be done in fitting and orderly way." Paul was writing this to the church in Corinth, a church full of passion and energy, but also a lot of chaos. People were speaking over one another, worship was confusing, and there wasn't a sense of peace at all. Paul reminded them that God is not a God of order, but of peace. And that honestly is true for us. Our lives and businesses can feel just like the church in Corinth, full of ideas and energy, responsibility, but also full of scattered moments that steal our peace. Anybody been there? Oh my goodness. We're not even in the thick of the holiday mess, right? But you can feel it. You get excited maybe about all the different fun things, or like even just decorating our homes and getting ready for the season. It can be exciting, but then it also can feel like, oh, we know that season is coming, and it can steal our peace. It can steal our wonder of the season because we know that it's coming, right? So what I want to do is help you use systems. It's not about control, but it's really about creating space for God's peace to lead. And so we're going to talk about another framework, a peace framework, steps that you can use right now as you are wanting to approach this season with some calm. Welcome to Flourish, the podcast for faith-driven mompreneurs who are ready to release overwhelm, create sustainable, healthy habits, and build purpose-driven businesses aligned with their faith, family, and vision. I'm Stephanie Book, a transformational mindset, wellness, and business coach. I'm here to equip you with the tools, mindset shifts, and encouragement to help you flourish. If you're ready to grow a thriving life and business while staying aligned with your faith, purpose, and priorities, you're in the right place. You are worthy and capable of living a full and flourishing life. Success isn't just possible, it's meant for you. Let's dive in. So today I thought I would talk about 3 systems you can set up right now to help you step into the season with calm. So the first one is a weekly planning rhythm. I've talked about this before, but it's worth reviewing again, especially this time of year. So I would say pick a day, maybe it's every Sunday evening or Monday morning, and spend about 20 minutes. Take some time to think ahead and plan. Write down your top 3 priorities. Maybe outline your meals and block out the time for what matters most. If you missed, I did a podcast a while back about a time blocking planner that was really, really helpful to me. There are all kinds of planners and things. I could talk forever about all the different kinds of planners and things that are out there. So if you need some recommendations, just let me know. Send me a DM or email me. All my information, of course, is in the show notes below. But you can, if you need some recommendations, maybe I can help you find the right planner or system for you to use. But look for those priorities that are on your list. Find at least 3 things, your top priorities, and write those down. And use that time to maybe, like I said, kind of set your week up for success. I know even with meal planning makes a huge difference, especially if I'm looking ahead for a full week. It really helps. And I didn't do that last week. And I knew what I was having Monday and Tuesday, and then Wednesday, I think. But then it fell apart. I didn't have anything else planned, and the rest of the days were just a mess because I didn't have things planned. So it really does make a difference, and it gives you more peace. It gives you more calm because you have taken the time to do that. This one rhythm of taking this 20 minutes or so to plan the week ahead. So like I said, whether it's a Sunday night or a Monday, maybe you want to plan out your work and you want to do that Friday before you leave. You can do it when you want to do it, but preferably a time where you're looking ahead to the next week and you can prepare and look ahead so that you can give yourself that already a sense of peace, already a sense of calm as you're moving into the week with having some of those things nailed down. That one rhythm can help your week from spiraling before it even starts. The next thing I would recommend is in that time blocking, as you were looking at your calendar and looking ahead, I would look at those top 3 priorities that you have on your list and then take some time to batch those into your schedule. So let's say for me, a podcast, right? So I want to write my podcast, I want to record my podcast, and I want to edit my podcast, and then I want to publish my podcast, and then I want to do the social media for my podcast, right? So there's lots of different steps. So let's say my goal for this week, my top priority is to record a month worth of podcasts. That sounds great, but it's overwhelming. I could look at on Monday and think, wow, that is a lot of work to do. I'm never going to finish it. But if I batch certain things together, one thing at a time, then that will help me. So maybe I would time block and say, you know what? Mondays, I plan out my podcast. I kind of study. I get those. So maybe Monday is a writing day. Tuesday is maybe my recording day. I record all the podcasts. They're ready to go. I can whip them out one after the other. I'm ready to go. I'm presented well. And so, boom, Tuesdays, I'm going to batch them. Maybe Wednesday is my day. Like, I don't have much time. So maybe I will work on my social media to get ready for that. But I don't, for me, that's very quick. So maybe I would work on my social media a little bit, start getting the idea of what I want to post or start working on. The posts are out. The podcasts are already recorded, so I know the content, so then I can maybe work on that. And then maybe Thursday is a day I have at home, and so maybe Thursday is the day I spend editing and really going through and editing all those and making sure it sounds right and looks right. And then maybe Friday I schedule everything, so then it's ahead of time, and so that's batching one thing. You have batch time where on those certain days I have them assigned, or certain times of the day. Maybe you don't want to batch the specific things that you're doing on those times, but you just know that you are going to work. Maybe you work from home, and so you have certain times of the day that you can do certain things. So I encourage you to try to batch like things together. And so maybe I am doing my podcast. Maybe I don't have as big of a goal, but maybe I say, Tuesday is recording day. I'm going to record. So maybe I'm recording a couple podcasts, maybe another lesson. Maybe it's a video that I'm working on for a program that I'm doing. So I could just be like video day, right? So I encourage you to pick things that are like each other and then batch those together. When you're working on social media, one of the hardest thing we do is we're trying to do social media every single day. And then we feel like we're always just preparing posts. We're always just trying to write a post, trying to make those reels. But what if you batch those certain items together? And so you can put that on your calendar. So when you're looking over your week and then you have put in your rocks, you've put in your priorities, you know what your 3 most important things are you want to do. You've kind of outlaid like, okay, I've looked at my calendar. These are the busy days. This is the day I need a crock pot meal. And this is the day that I have more time to make, a nicer meal or whatever. So you've got all those things. So, use that time, that batch time, to put like things together. Maybe, what you're going to eat for the week, and maybe you have a meal prep time. So maybe you don't have a business, but you're like, okay, on Mondays is meal prep Monday. And so you're going to go in and maybe you're going to brown all your ground beef or your ground turkey, or maybe you're going to cook up all your chicken so that you have it ready for those things. Maybe you're going to chop all your veggies, right? So batch those things together, and it actually will feel like it will give you more ease in the week, even though it feels like you're not you're not getting much accomplished. But when you look over the scope of the week, you'll be like, wow, look at all the things I was able to do because I batched certain like things together. And that also helps with that switch tasking, because I am a multitasker, and sometimes that gets me in trouble. Or I love those memes or those different things where you see where they're, I went to go switch the laundry, but on the way, oh, well, I better start this new load. Oh, wait, the kitchen counter is messy, so I better wash that off. Oh, I forgot to take the garbage out. Let me go do that. Oh, I need to make an appointment for a dentist or something like that. And then I'm like, oh, wait, what was I doing? Oh, I was going to go switch the laundry, right? So this helps with that chaos. It helps give us some framework so that we can know exactly what we're doing and when. And it takes that mental load off. It helps give you margin in other areas as well. And then the other thing that I highly recommend is like a reset time, a Sunday reset. So maybe I like to do this reset, kind of a reset, looking over my week, and then I can plan ahead for the next week. And so a lot of times I do that on Sunday. Sometimes if Sunday's a very busy day, then I will do it Monday morning. But end your week with intention, do a home reset. Maybe you are preparing your house for the upcoming week. So maybe you're, making sure your laundry is ready to go. You've got clean laundry, you're tidying up, or maybe you need a heart reset on Sunday. And so you look at some time of devotional and some prayer and be like, yes, Sunday is my day of rest. And so I'm going to spend time just in prayer, in devotions, and maybe Monday morning is your reset day. Now, if you're working a job early on Monday, then you might want to make sure that you are starting off your Monday well and having that time of reset. But maybe you're doing your laundry and tidying up and things like that Saturday morning, and then Sunday is your day of rest. So look ahead, know what's coming up in your week, and find that time for a reset. Looking back, reviewing your week, celebrating those wins. What was good this week? What would you have liked to see differently this week? Not to beat yourself up, but just so that you are aware of okay, I did really good. Like I said earlier, I did great. I knew what I was having for dinner Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, but then the rest of the week I didn't, and dinner was chaos. It was always like, oh, crud, I had a really busy day. What am I going to make? What are we going to have? And that caused stress. That wasn't peaceful. And so when we're doing a Sunday reset, I could be like, oh, okay, I can see that when I plan my meals, my evenings are much better. So I want to make sure that this week I have the whole week planned out. That makes sense? It's not to beat ourselves up, but it will help you feel lighter. It'll help you have more of a focus, and it takes the pressure off, and it brings you more calm. And when we step in to this crazy busy season that we follow into with all the holidays and the extra parties and the extra everything, like the concerts for the kids or the deadlines that you have for work, right? But if you have a time to reflect, look at what has been good for the week, what would you like to change for the week, and what would you like to move on for the next week, it helps. Having some time to reset and focus, having some time to look ahead at what's coming, make room in your calendar for those most important things. Get those down first. Those are non-negotiables. And then you can put in the different things. When you've focused on the top 3 priorities, then you know what you want to batch, what you want to put in your schedule. Those are the things that you do first. If other things get done, great. And most likely, you're not going to write down every single thing. Maybe you will. Maybe you write down do 3 loads of laundry. Maybe that's what you need to do. Maybe you're like, okay, Monday is laundry day. Monday has to be the day because the rest of the week is busy. Put that in and batch it in your calendar. Time block it right in there, and then you'll know. And then the whole week isn't trying to be catch up all the time. You are actually in a rhythm, in a system, and you could start building that. So once you get into a rhythm and a system, honestly, this time goes by even faster. Your set up for the week is super fast because a lot of that rhythm starts coming in place. Your systems are put into place. And so maybe you'll have a little bit of shifting and changing. Maybe you have some extra appointments at the coming week. And so things need to shift a little bit. But a lot of us are kind of creatures of habit. We kind of have a very similar schedule. So once you do this, once you kind of have a set time in place and you have a rhythm put in place, the system comes together easily. You feel more calm and you get more done because you're not being so scattered. So I know it seems simple. I really know that it is something I talk a lot about, but it does make a difference. Hey friends, I'm really excited because I have been working on a special 90-day plan for those people who are in that place of feeling stuck, feeling a little bit overwhelmed, feeling like you want to grow your business, but you're just not sure where to move forward. I have had so much fun putting these 90-day action plans together. One where we walk together, we have a conversation so we can find out exactly where your needs are. And then I can help you create a system for 90 days that we can walk together and help you create a system, create a rhythm that will help you reach the goals that you want to in your business or in your life. And so if you would like to have a free call to talk a little bit about what this 90-day clarity call could be for you, what this clarity system could be for you, I would absolutely love to have you have a call with me, a free call. So just put clarity in the comments or message me. You know where to find me at steph.book on Instagram, or message me clarity below, or of course, all of my links are in the show notes, so you can always message me there as well. But I would love to be able to step in, and I've had so much fun putting these 90-day plans together. And so we can have a chat to see what exactly it is that you need help with, and then we can put a plan together that works for you and your schedule and your budget so that we can help you really step in and create the things that you want to. Imagine coming at the end of this year with a full 90-day plan laid out, that you've seen the progress, you've seen the change, and you're no longer stuck and discouraged and overwhelmed, and you're moving towards the things you want to create. Okay, I know I jumped right into systems and rhythms and things like that because I get so excited, because I just love all of those things. I get geeked out about planners and just having systems and rhythms and all those things because I know how much it's helped me. But I wanted to circle back into 1 Corinthians again and read that verse one more time. But everything should be done in a fitting and orderly way. Paul wasn't calling people to be rigid perfection. He was calling them to order so that the Spirit could move freely. The same is for us. When our days are scattered, our minds, they're distracted. Our energy is pulled in every different direction, and it's really hard to hear God clearly. But when we create a simple order through our systems and our rhythms, we can create some margin. Remember, I was talking about that peace that we get? That's because we have some system and rhythms put in place. That margin becomes a place where we can have more peace, have clarity, and honestly, even that creativity starts to flow. It gives your mind room. It gives it time to breathe, right? Have you ever been in a situation where like your breath is tight, right? And then maybe you're working on a really, really big project and you're tight and everything seems so stressed. And then you let go of that, it's done, or you complete it and it's like, right? You feel that. You can feel like your shoulders relaxing. You're breathing deeper. And so that's what this does. When you have a system and a rhythm, it allows more of that, and not so much of the, I gotta do this, right? So my friends, I encourage you, ask yourself this week, where is your disorder stealing your peace from? What is causing, is it your schedule? Is it your workspace, your meals, your content? What is it that's really causing you that stress? And let's focus on one area this week and try to maybe shift it a little bit. Maybe use the batching system that I talked about and batch just that one thing. So maybe it is your meals. So maybe you're like, this week, I am just going to focus on making sure that I know what meals we're having for the week. I'm going to do some meal prep on Monday, and that's going to carry me through, and I'll try it out, right? We're not going to start out perfectly. Not every rhythm and system that we try is going to work out, but we can give ourselves some grace, but it will help. Every little step you take will make a difference. Order isn't about perfection. It's about creating space for peace. So remember, every time you plan something, every time you put something into place and you try it, that is progress. And that allows you to make more room for other things. And I know it seems backwards. I know you're like, but it takes time to plan it. But I promise you, as you step in and start planning, the peace comes. And even if your to-do list looks really long, even if you feel like I'm never going to finish all these things, I promise you, you will see some progress, especially if you focus on 3 main things for the week or for the day, and then focus on those 3 things. And at the end of the day, you could be like, wow, I got all of that done. And you can see that accomplishment and you can celebrate that. And if that's all you got done was those 3 things, you finished, you accomplished your goal. So be happy about that. If you get more done, awesome. Or maybe you get those 3 things done and you're done and you walk away and you enjoy the rest of your day doing something that fills up your soul, taking a walk, maybe spending time with a friend, getting some coffee, whatever it is. You are okay to do that too. You're okay to take a reset and a rest time. I didn't even talk about rest, but that's definitely something you could add in there. But I was just trying to talk about some systems and rhythms, but don't be afraid to make sure that those things are in your schedule as well. We could have talked about a whole lot more things today about bringing in different things, about different routines, things like that. That's not really what I was focusing on today. But I just want to help you start recognizing the difference that a rhythm or a system can do for you and how much more peace you can have, more calm you can have if you just take some time to do that. When I started doing some resets, I noticed a big difference. When I didn't have a reset, when things weren't planned ahead, Mondays would just feel like chaos because you would start and boom, you had to go, right? And, things were just there was no place for it. I didn't know what was happening when. I mean, yes, you had things on your calendar, but that was it. I felt like chaos. I felt like I was catching up all of the time. But when I started doing more of a reset, looking ahead, using my time blocking planner or planning things on my Google Calendar or just writing the brain dump down just so that it's all released off my brain, all of those things helped me. All of those things allowed me for more peace and more calm. And I would step into the week with a little bit more like, oh, okay, I know exactly what day I'm doing what, and I can breathe into that. And let me say this. You might do a really good job. You might be planning all of it out. And then something happens and it kicks you out of your routine. Guess what? That's okay too. I'm telling you that because it's happened to me too. Sometimes you plan out that perfect rhythm in the system, but we're not talking about perfection. It's just trying to help you have more calm, have more peace, knowing that you have some margin in your life so that you are not always working, that you're not always doing all the to-do lists, that you have time for the things that are most important. I talk about those rocks in your schedule. Those are those non-negotiables that no matter what, those things happen first. And so you give yourself some grace as you walk through this, as you're building your systems. And when something happens and you have recording day and then you get a call from the school and you have to pick up your sick kiddo, guess what? It's okay. You can schedule for your recording day another day. You can shift something, you can move something, and it's okay. I promise you, you'll get through it as well. But you'll have that calm, you'll have that peace, and you'll have the margin in your schedule because you've put it there so that you know, oh, well, I can't do it today, but I can actually put it here. And look for the thing that's the least important, and maybe that's what will get put aside or put again for the next week. So give yourself some grace and know that life happens. But I do think that one of the things I didn't say earlier is make sure that you're putting some margin in there. I think we always try to time out everything and give everything a certain amount of time, but we usually really, really underestimate how long it takes us to do some things. That actually happened today as I was helping with flowers, and we wanted to put greenery. We had 30 tables that we were putting greenery on. And the girl said, I forget how long it takes to cut up and put that greenery and disperse it on the tables. It's not hard, but it takes time. And so she was like, I always underestimate how long it takes. And so sometimes that happens to us too. But you know what? It's okay. It's like we just worked through it and we got it done and we made it on time. But I think that that's a good example to know that sometimes we need to allow ourselves a little bit more time than we think, or at least allow us some margin in there so that we're not back to back to back to back to back, because you want to make sure that what you're doing and you're giving that full attention. And if you're always looking at, oh goodness, I got to finish by this time to get this next thing done, that can be chaos. That can bring discontent. And so I want you to have that place, that rhythm, that margin, so that you can have those places of calm and peace throughout your week. Okay? Oh goodness. I know I talked about a lot of different things this week, but again, this is one of my passions because I know it makes such a difference when we take the time to do it. So I encourage you to choose one system and commit to it this week. Maybe it's your weekly rhythm. Maybe it's batching one task on your list. Maybe, like we talked about, having your 3 top priorities for the week. Some people do like your top 3 for the day. Maybe that's too much. Maybe you need to start broader and do the top 3 for the week, and then be like, okay, I'm going to batch these 3 top important things into my schedule. And when those things get done, your week can be like, I got it done, and you can check that off. Find a time to do your reset. Is it a Sunday evening? Is it Friday at the end of work? Don't miss this. Use that time to reflect, and then it allows you to look ahead. And then don't try to overhaul everything. Don't try to do it all. Leave that margin. Stop with just one step, and that will give you some more order and some peace. So I encourage you. What's one system you could set up this week that would make life calmer and more peaceful? I would love for you to share that with me. What's the one step that you're going to take? Message me. I read any message that I get. So any comment that I get on the bottom of the podcast or anything like that, or if you want to send me an email, I would love to have you to share with me. If you have questions, like I said, about planners, I would love to help you with that as well. So friends, you don't have to live in overwhelm. I want you to be able to look at this systems as a way of having more freedom, having more calm, having more peace. It's going to give you some order among the chaos, so that as we walk through this next season, as we jump into all the things that are happening, we'll still be able to get the things done that we need to, the top priorities that we have, but then be able to leave that margin for the things that are important, so we can build that family time, so we can enjoy the holidays that are around us, or the different programs and things like that, because we're going to take an overlook of the week and plan that and give ourselves some margin so that we can really set in and enjoy life. Because we have one life, and I really want you to be able to live it to the full, and we want you to enjoy it. We don't want you just to be like feeling like you're always running and chasing after the to-do list, but giving yourself some grace and some place for that calm and peace. If you need some help, I have put together my Faith and Flourish Trello board, and this kind of walks you through some of what we talked about. There's a lot more in there, but it's a great resource, and it will help you with your Sunday reset and your planning ahead. It will have a place for you to write some prayers and some different things that you want to focus on. It's loaded with all kinds of things. So if you would like that, please just put systems in the comments. Message me, of course, on Instagram at steph.book, or you can email me. All of my information, as usual, is in the show notes below. But I think that the Faith and Flourish Trello board would be a great resource for you, especially if you feel a little bit overwhelmed with this area, because I designed it for you. It works well for me, and I think it would be a great asset for you as you step into this as well. So friends, please remember that you are worthy and capable of living a full and flourishing life. Success isn't just possible, it's meant for you. Take care. Thank you for joining me on Flourish. I hope today's episode left you feeling inspired and equipped to take your next step with confidence. If you enjoyed this episode, I'd love for you to subscribe, leave a review, and share it with a friend who needs this encouragement. Be sure to connect with me on Instagram at steph.book and join our Facebook community of faith-driven women who are ready to flourish. Make sure to check out the show notes for all the ways we can connect and continue this journey of growth together. My friends, remember, you are worthy and capable of living a full and flourishing life. Success isn't just possible, it's meant for you.